Hey, what's up everybody? This is Tony Cletus and welcome back to JavaScript series brought to you by Code2City. In this episode 25, we're going to be dealing with array methods and we'll be dealing with lots of array methods here. And what this method does for us is to help us manipulate arrays, manipulate the values in our arrays, and also write effective programs. Alright, so enough of all this talk. Let's quickly go into coding. Alright, so the array methods we're going to be dealing with today are just 8 in numbers. That's the toString method, valueOf method, shift method, unshift method, delete, and sort, reverse method, and sort method. First of all, let's create a variable, and this variable is going to contain some states in Nigeria. So it's not just a variable, it's an array. Arrays of states, you understand? So the first state I'll have is Lagos. Port Harcourt, I guess, yeah, Kogi, Enugu, and Kano. Okay, so let's just test this out. We'll just console.log these values. So we have our arrays displayed here in the console. I'm using the console here, not the web page. All right, so we have Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kogi, Enugu, Kano. All right. What we're going to be doing now is, first of all, we're going to try to use the toString method. That's this one, the first one, to manipulate this. And what this simply does is simply converts the state of the value here, which is in arrays, to a string format. You understand? So once I come here now and I say .toString, and make sure you put that parenthesis. If we come back here and we refresh this, you discover that we don't have this in brackets again. Talking about the square brackets. So we have this in string now. Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kogi, Enugu, Kano, separated with commas. You understand? So this is now in strings. And that's how to convert an array to strings. Alright, so the next thing we're going to be testing is the valueOf method. And I'll just come down here and change this to valueOf. Make sure the O here is in capital letter. The valueOf method, what it does is the same thing as the toString methods, but in this case it just converts an array to a primitive value. By that I mean it just brings out the value or the array naturally, just as it is being represented in the code. So once I save this now and we go back to the console, I'll just refresh this and you see we have this first one. This first value here is for this first example, that is the toString method, but this second one here is the valueOf method, and it's just bringing this out in its raw format. That is, it is in arrays. They are in arrays. I believe you understand that. If you don't understand, you can leave a comment below the description box. I'll help you out by explaining with some write-ups. All right, now the next one we're going to go through is the shift method, which is the number 3. And what this shift method simply does, let me copy this first and I'll just paste this here and I will change this to shift. Okay, what the shift method simply does is it removes the first element of an array and shift all other elements one place up. And what do I mean by that? Like if I say state in Nigeria and I append it to the shift method, it will remove this first value, Lagos, and it will just shift this one, which is having an index of 1. Remember, our arrays is 0 base, so it will count from 0. It will now take this Port Harcourt to here, this position, and you now have Port Harcourt as 0 and Kogi as 1 and Enugu as 2 and Kano as 3. So if I try to comment this and I save this, because we just want to we just want to see this in the console, just this one, and I come back here, clear the console and we refresh by pressing Ctrl R, you see that we are just seeing Lagos here. That means Lagos have been shifted from the arrays, the value inside the array. You understand? Let's console.log state in Nigeria now. Let's console.log this and see what we're having after shifting the value Lagos. So if I refresh this, you discover that, okay, let me clear this off again and refresh. You see that we have removed Lagos, and what we're having now is Port Harcourt. This second console.log is the one displaying this here. Port Harcourt as the first value, Kogi, Enugu, Nigeria. If you click on this arrow here, you see that Port Harcourt is not taking the position of 0, an index of 0, and we see we have 4 values in our arrays. That's why you see this length is equals to 4 here. Alright, so that's what the shift method simply does. And the next method is the opposite of the shift method, and what it simply does is that the unshift method adds a new value to an array at the beginning. Unshift. So if I save this and I come back here, guess what's going to happen? If I refresh, it's just indicating that we now have 5 arrays. You understand? We have 5 arrays here. What the unshift method, what it does is that it adds an element or a value in front of the existing values inside the arrays. So what we can do here is I'll just add Abuja, another state, and once you save this now, come back to our console and refresh, you see that we have 6 values now in our array. So if I come back here for me to confirm this and I do a console.log state in Nigeria, you will see that Abuja is now the first element of our array. And if you click on this, you see that Abuja is taking the position of 0, Lagos is taking the position of 1, and that's how it goes. So alright, now we are going. The next one is the delete. I can't call this a method, but I can just say that is it an operator now? It's just operator, yeah, let me put it like that, that helps us to delete a value or from our array. You understand? By indicating the index of that array. And what do I mean by that? So I'll just cut this now. Let me cut this also. So I'm going to delete. So remember, I've uncommented with the unshift method example, so we will still have 5 values in our array state in Nigeria. So what I want to do now is I want to delete Lagos, not Lagos time around. I want to delete, let me say, Enugu, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, the third value from our array. And how do I do that? I can just basically type the keyword delete, and then I'll now have number 3. Yeah, so I just have 3 there, and I'll come down here and do a console.log state in Nigeria to see whether it has been deleted, which is the Enugu here. So if we come back here and we refresh, you see that Enugu, which is located on the third position of our array, has been deleted. It's just indicating empty, an empty value here. So if we click this, you discover that we just have 4 visible values in our arrays right now: Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kogi, Kano. Okay, let me just shift it down, and the next one is the sort method. Alright, now this is where you get the fun. The sort method sorts an array alphabetically, you understand? And what do I mean by that? Okay, let's say we have this console.log state in Nigeria. I can just append this with the sort method, and if we refresh this in our console, you discover that we now have our value displayed in an alphabetical order. Enugu, which is carrying the first alphabet E, Kano, Kogi, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and this is in an alphabetical order. If you think this is wrong, try to prove the computer wrong by inventing your own alphabet. I don't know, but this is quite correct. Alright, so it just does that in an alphabetical order. But what if we are dealing with numbers? Do you think it can also identify numbers and try to treat them from ascending to descending order or from descending order to ascending order? Okay, that you will know later on, but first I have to introduce the reverse method. So once I change the sort method to reverse method, what do you think this does? The reverse method will display the value or the elements in the array from behind, like to start displaying them from the back, like Kano, Enugu, Kogi, Port Harcourt, Lagos. Okay, so let's try to prove me wrong and see. If we refresh, you see I'm right. Kano, Enugu, Kogi, Port Harcourt, Lagos, and it says just I'm trying to output them from behind, starting from the last value or the last element. Okay, now we're going to be dealing with sorting arrays having elements containing integers or numbers. How do we deal with that? Well, that means this is my example here. I'm not going to make use of it because these are strings. We're going to create a new array of numbers. Okay, so I have this example here, var scores. This is the name of the array. Scores is equal to these scores here. We have different scores, 585, 864, like that. I think how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 elements in this array. First of all, let's try to sort them from descending order. So you might be thinking we'll just come and say console.log scores.sort, and if we save this and try to refresh this in our browser, you would think it will sort them. Okay, now here it goes. It won't sort them. It won't give you, that is from the bigger number down to the smaller number. It won't give you that. How do you think we can do this? How do you think we can try to do this from the higher number down to the lower number? How do you think we can sort them? Okay, as programmers, the best way to do this is to write a function for that, and that's what makes you a JavaScript developer. We're going to write a function for this now. So we say scores.sort, and inside this we can now manipulate the built-in sort method by writing our function. So, and this function is going to carry 2 arguments, a comma b. Okay, and here we'll just do return b minus a, and here we can come down and now say console.log scores. So you see that we have manipulated the built-in sort method to display this from the higher number down to the lower number. So if you save this now and come back here, clear the console, refresh this, we see we're having this from the higher number down to the lower number, 7, 6, 9, 3, 3, 4, and they are taking the index positions as they are being displayed. You see 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is it. Let me make this fun for you. If you click on this, you see that the prototype is an array, and you can see other information about them. So this is it. Okay, I was tempted to give you this as an assignment, but let me just show you. If you want to display this from ascending order, you can just come here and manipulate this by changing this to B and changing this to A. You can actually name your parameter anything. Remember, these are parameters. So, and if you save this now and you clear your console, refresh this, you see we're having 499. It has sort them from the lower number to the higher number. You understand? 499, 585, 864, blah blah blah. Alright, so now I believe we have treated the whole array methods that I can possibly think you can begin with, and you'll be able to use them to manipulate your arrays or while you code down the way. It's very simple. You can go through them, try to manipulate them. The main purpose of this is for you to see them and see how they get to work, and as a programmer you have to think, how can I use this to do something beautiful? You understand? And that's how that is it. Programming is not typing, it is thinking. So you have to just calm down and do some things with this. change my examples, twat it to your own, and do cool things with them. So with this tutorial, which is episode 25, we have concluded our season 1 of the fundamentals of JavaScript language. Season 2 will begin immediately from episode 26. I didn't change the episode 26, but you are just graduating from the first phase, season 1 to season 2. So far, we've not done anything about object and object-oriented programming in JavaScript, and I consciously did that, and you will thank me for that later when you enter the season 2 and you begin with the object-oriented programming. I want to treat that specially, and we are going to do a whole lot of object-oriented programming in the season 2. Okay, so catch you up in the season 2, where we are going to begin with introduction to object-oriented programming. Have a nice day. If you realize something from this video, please click on that like button below and make sure you subscribe.